man, it's your boy Curl. I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my starting squad. I am not going nowhere. Look! I know I look crazy right now. I got the, you know what I mean? I got the, yes sir, but I have to get out the house. I'm trying to leave right now, but I had to record the intro for this video so I can immediately get to what I'm talking about in this video. And I can already hear it now, bro. Everybody been clowning me on Instagram, whether it be like, oh, what prison you going to? Are you like a 1950s gang member in LA? Or are you X, Y, and Z? Just say I'm looking nice. But if you clicked on this video, then you already know what I'm talking about. If you follow me on Instagram or if you saw my TikTok, you already know what sneaker I'm gonna be talking about. This right here, man. This is going to be another iteration of Salehe's time with New Balance. This is going to be the fog, be the cloud. This is going to be the New Balance 1000, bro. Now, the great thing about this sneaker, not only is the colorway fire, execution flawless, victory, literally. I'm testing out a new silhouette I've never had on or never tried on, never owned a pair of the New Balance 1000. So it's going to be another experience in a different New Balance silhouette. I know they've been kind of pushing this silhouette just like from different collabs and different like GR releases, but I've never had it. This is the pair that got me into it. I don't know, just something about when you blend colors that I didn't think would necessarily mesh well and you do it. Like it's just an easy cop for me. Like it just makes sense. Now, if you tune into my live streams on YouTube, then you know when it comes to the box itself, that is another key factor in whether or not I really like a sneaker. Not saying that like it's the end all be all. Like if these sneakers just came in a plain box, I still would rock them because the sneakers themselves are fire. But when you go to the lengths to make the packaging for the sneakers themselves unique like this, I mean, you already get points in my book. So again, this is the fog, be the cloud. This is going to be Salehe Bembury. At this point, I think this is like his 9th sneaker with New Balance. It may be more than that, truthfully, because I know he has a bunch that he hasn't like necessarily released. But this is going to be my first experience in these. Now, I'm not going to waste no time. Again, I have to get out this door. I'm basically running behind because I cannot. I had to record the intro to this video. I'm going to go ahead and try these on real quick. First impressions, putting them on my feet. Now, the first thing that I did notice unboxing these shoes is like, it's a longer shoe. Like it's just an overall bigger shoe than like other New Balances that I have, whether it be like, you know, my Straight Ratch or the 2002R. So I was very curious on whether or not the sizing was going to be like, you know, drastically different. Let me put this one on. Ooh. Just ever so slightly, there is just a little bit more room in these sneakers. Now, I can tell already I'm not going to be able to do my typical loose tie method that I do with my sneakers. I'm going to have to rock these laced up, but I also have a very thin sock on. So I'm interested to see, like, you know, throughout the week as I'm rocking it, like what the experience is with a thicker sock versus a slimmer sock. I have like a slimmer one on right now, and I can feel the room in this sneaker. Like I got at least a finger space back here. So I don't know if that necessarily means I should have went with a 9. Again, I have to like put multiple hours in these shoes to like really understand it. One thing that I did also notice, as you can see here, it has that lacing system of like the 1906R, but then it also has like the traditional lacing system. Now, this is the one thing I will say about these shoes. Given how crazy this colorway is, I wish it came with another pair of laces. Like these are all gonna come with this like cream color, off-white color laces. I wish this came with like a pop of something. Maybe like this purple here, maybe even this yellow here, this green back here. Like I wish it came with something, because if you're gonna give the lacing system for this and then also have the other one, I wish it would have been dope just to like double lace these with something. Like if you ever seen like the basket case 204L that they did, like if it came with some laces like that. But again, that doesn't take away from like the overall dopeness of the sneaker. Like I'm not saying, oh, the whole thing's terrible because it didn't give extra laces. I just wish, given the colorways for these, getting a lace that maybe had the color of right here, even back here, or even just green back here, like that would have just like, But again, I have to get out this door. I'm running behind. I have to leave right now. So I'm gonna put these straight on feet. I'm definitely gonna do 72 hours in these, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm definitely doing 72. So I will catch y'all in the update on the Salehe Bembury New Balance 1000 silhouette. So you have made it to the review portion of the New Balance 1000. This is a complete new silhouette for me. I've never tried on a 1000. I've never had a pair of 1000s. So this is going to be my first pair of 1000s. This is going to be Salehe's Fog Be the Cloud. Now, I mentioned maybe like 4 to 5 months ago, it was back in like July or either August, when these initially got like leaked in that image of like the picture like of him holding it in the sky. Like I was like, these are going to be the next ones. I've always said the Water Be the Guides from that 2002 R pack, my favorite. Now for the 1906 R, the Heat Be Hot pair, I thought both colorways, the metallic and the magma pair of fire. It was clear for me though, the magma pair is the winner. Now, he hasn't dropped multiple pairs like a bunch of the 1000s. Now he did drop that blue and like green pair, which I wasn't necessarily a fan of. But around the same time that those like got announced that they were releasing, these got leaked and there was no release in sight for those back then. I was like, damn, like, is this just gonna be a pair that, you know, never gets like its own release? But they end up releasing during like his Black Friday sale. And I think at the moment right now, I think you can still get this on his website. I don't think a lot of people like this because like very adventurous colors, it's hard to really necessarily put together a fit when the shoe is this like complex with colors at the bottom. But for me personally, I love a good color pop. That's my thing. That's where I live. Now, if you were able to get his book, let's go ahead and crack open the book. On page 215. Now, as we can see on this page here, there's another pair of the 1000s that have not had an official release. Only in this book that has like that salmon top with that blue bottom. I believe these are going to release in some time in the future because similar to that 992, I think that's what the silhouette is, the 992. This green pair didn't have any official leaks outside of this book, but a month after this book release, those shoes end up getting an official release date. I think it was like either the first day of January or it was the last day of December. I can't remember of 2025 or if it was 2026. So in the near future, I do expect that other salmon colorway to have a release. But again, I'm not gonna waste the time. I already yapped enough. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the review. Now, you already know how I kick this off. The first thing that everybody wants to know if they never tried a sneaker company or if they never tried a silhouette from a sneaker company that they've already owned before, they always want to know, how was the sizing? Now, when it comes to the New Balance 1000, I definitely feel like I could have went with a 9 and I would have had a better experience. Do not get me wrong. I didn't have a terrible experience. My foot wasn't flopping in and out of the shoe. But days where I decided to wear a slimmer sock, I definitely took note of my foot feeling like it had a bunch of space in the shoe. But I will say days where I wore a little bit of a thicker sock, that space wasn't necessarily so noticeable. So if you look at this video right here, this was a slimmer sock. And you can see I have maybe about a finger space or a little bit more than a finger space on the back of the shoe. Now, this is what it looks like with a thicker sock. So although I can get my finger back there, it is a little bit tougher to get through. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, I'm not saying the 9.5 is unwearable. Like, it's not so much space in the shoe when I wear a slimmer sock to where I can't wear it. I'm falling out the shoes. I'm trying to keep them on by suction cupping the bottom of the shoe. I'm not saying that. But I will say, if I went down a half size, I do feel like my experience would have been perfect. Like, I feel like there would have been no issues, whether it be a slimmer or a thicker sock. I feel like I would have had a better experience. So I'm going to keep the 9.5. Maybe in the future, I'll buy another 1000 if I end up liking it. I'll buy a 9 to do a comparison. But I'm going to say you should go a half size down in these. These shoes are spacious. They are bigger than other New Balance silhouettes that I've had, whether it be the 2002R, the 1906R. I feel like the 1000 is a little bit bigger, not only in its length, but also in its width. So again, take that information for what you will. That has been my experience. If you've had a pair of these, share your experience in the comments so we can help somebody make a more informed purchase. But again, I do feel like I could have went down a half size and got a 9. I would have had a better experience. But overall, it's not crazy. Like, it's not so noticeable to where, I'm upset with my purchase. Now, the next thing that people are always curious about is going to be comfortability. Now, I'm gonna just keep it real. Is this the most comfortable New Balance silhouette? No. Is it in the top 5 of the most comfortable silhouettes? I don't think so. But is it comfortable? Absolutely. I truthfully don't believe New Balance makes an uncomfortable sneaker. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint an uncomfortable New Balance silhouette. So I think it just fits right in line with what the company does. They make comfortable sneakers. They make sneakers that you can, be in for multiple hours and not get any issues. Again, I drove to and from Houston, from Austin, and I never took the shoes off. I didn't have any pain or aches. Cause like sometimes when you're driving, you're just like stepping on the gas, stepping on the brake, stepping on the gas, stepping on the brake. It kind of gets like a little bit exhausting. There was no issue with that. I drove in the car for, almost 5 hours, and I went to the gym. I squatted in these. I did multiple workouts in these. I ran errands in these. I have no complaints. There's truthfully no issue. Even though the days that I did wear a slimmer sock and I did feel like that space was a little bit big, again, there was no issue with these shoes. So again, comfortability wise, if that was a thing, if that was the one thing that you were curious about, whether or not you should spend the money on a New Balance 1000, New Balance doesn't make an uncomfortable sneaker. I haven't experienced it. So comfortability wise, they're great. If you want to just walk around, be in a shoe for like 6 to 7 hours, God damn, I'm almost 30, bro. But if you want to buy a sneaker that you can wear for multiple hours, this is a great sneaker. Now, the last thing that I will share my perspective on is styling the sneaker. I know a lot of people will shy away from the sneaker. It's a bunch of colorways. It's kind of hard to really put together a fit, especially if you have a more neutral tone closet. I get it. But I feel like when it comes to styling this sneaker, you need to play the top and the bottom needs to be basic. So I'm not saying basic boring or there's no cool attributes about it. But if you rock this, I feel like the bottoms need to be plain. So a light wash, a dark wash, a medium wash, X, Y, and Z. Because the shoe is so colorful that pairing it with anything else that's really colorful like that, it will be hard. So I think you go basic on the bottoms. The top, you could potentially be experimental, but what I would say is be basic on the top. So if you rock black jeans or black pants, rock a plain white top, and then your outerwear piece, like a jacket, a vest, or a hoodie, that thing can be something either in matching color with the shoes or something a little bit more adventurous. And then if you want to do something like how I plan to style it in the future, I styled it with this fit right here. So I have black bottoms, black baggy shorts, and then I have a white shirt that's basic. My belt has color added to it. It's not a color necessarily on the sneaker, but I feel like it just added something to it. And then I rocked it with a basic hat. I'm wearing the hat right now. And then I rocked it with a scarf that added a little bit more flair to the overall outfit. Now that's just my personal style. I'm not afraid of color. I go very much so into it. I lean forward into color. So that's why when it comes to this Fog Be the Cloud, that's why I will say this is in his top 3. Absolutely. In his time with New Balance, this is in his top 3. And just my final thoughts, again, this is an overall great sneaker. I added my own little flair to it with these, textured laces, just because they gave you the option to lace the sneaker, but then they also had additional holes. So that's why I went with adding this cool little flair, some little texture to it, almost Fog Be the Cloud, and these kind of yellow laces that have this texture, almost like lightning. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was unique. Added my own little twist to it. Again, I'm always a sucker for when the box has a unique aspect. This is what he does all the time with his New Balance collaborations. So overall, this is a great executed sneaker, especially for a silhouette. I think this was his first time. First with the blue and the green pair, this pair, and then that pair, and that was in that book. I think he executed very well on these Fog Be the Clouds. But again, as always, I'm always curious on what you guys think. What do you think of the New Balance 1000? And then also, what do you think of Salehe's New Balance 1000 Fog Beaded Cloud? Let me know in the comments. But without further ado, like I always do, I will catch y'all in that next one.
But I love the way you work it. Hey, I love the way you work it for me.